Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I, of course, want to express my condolences people have on both sides of the aisle for the grievous loss of life that we've seen in the last 2 weeks. But as you said, Mr. President, we see it every day. And I'm listening to the testimony and to the conversations on both sides of the aisle, and I feel like we live in a bizarro world where we forget the very mandate of our government, of our federal government. And so the best mandate is perhaps the Constitution of the United States of America that begins with the purpose of why we're all here. And I just read the first 4 reasons why we're here. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, and provide for the common defense. And if you look at that in the context of the slaughter of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Americans, I'm roughly 50 years old. In my lifetime, there are more people that have died of gun violence than in every single war in our nation's history, from the revolution to the current wars going on right now. Why are we here? Why did we establish this government if not to better defend ourselves? And yet we see slaughter every day and don't understand that it's not just the horrors of that, but we are way out of step with every other nation on the planet Earth in the number of Americans that are being killed. And somehow we don't think we have the power to stop this. And it hurts. I tell you, these are not data. This is not statistics. I've stood on too many sidewalks that were stained with blood. I've seen too many bodies covered. More than one occasion, Mr. Chairman, me or one of the people I was with tried desperately to stop someone from bleeding out from gunshot wounds. And it trashes our strength and our economy, because every gunshot wound in America costs us hundreds of thousands of dollars. But that's nothing compared to what it's doing to our nation's soul. We must create a more beloved community. And the lies or the fear-mongering about how somehow law-abiding citizens won't have access to guns is just belied by the evidence and the data. I'm so grateful that we have actually a law enforcement officer, because as a person who was a mayor of a city, God bless us, we've driven down crime under my leadership as mayor. The current mayor is doing an extraordinary job. But we know, who are trying to protect citizens, how tragic it is that we can't even do the things that we know. Our arms are tied. And so I want to begin with, Chief, if you could answer these questions, and I'll stop. Connecticut's a state that has had registry. Nobody in Connecticut, this is not a pretext to take away arms. It objectively dropped homicides, murders, death by guns by 40% in the state, objectively. But I was a mayor and worked with Connecticut mayors and New York mayors about the iron pipeline, where we could stop guns with our gun laws, but the guns coming, as Ms. Swearer said, from straw purchases up the iron pipeline from gun shows is absolutely outrageous. And what was painful for me is my officers were in danger from these illegal weapons pouring into our community. And so, Chief Spagnuolo, just 2 questions, and then I yield my time. First of all, I've got a bill that is about evidence-based practices, break the silent cycle of violence, that would find evidence-based street outreach programs, as well as hospital-based violence intervention programs, that we know that if local communities like yours had more of those resources, these are evidence-based programs that we could stop. I'd like for you to talk about that. And then also, could you just give folks an understanding of how dramatically we lost an officer yesterday. As a leader of men and women who go out every single day into communities in danger, could you just please answer for me what it's like knowing that these weapons proliferate in America that we could prevent, and what it means to officers and their families every day in America?
Thank you, Senator. So in response to your first question, community solutions is paramount to this problem, and any evidence-based program that would provide assistance and support for folks in our community, whether they're just living in our community and suffering from living in an area that violence is occurring, or they're re-entering into our community, is extremely important to us. We work with many partners, not only in government, but many nonprofit organizations, behavioral health organizations in our city, to make sure that we provide services to members that need it in our community. And to your statements and your question regarding the devastation of losing a law enforcement officer, it's terrible. I mean, we've had officers here in Waterbury that have been shot and killed in the line of duty during my career. And these are times and moments that I will never forget. I mean, these are human beings that have lost their life, just like the folks that were involved in the mass shooting in Boulder just yesterday. They have families. I've heard time and time again, as people have taken the microphone today, about the officer and his 7 children that he left behind. These are real concerns and real situations that our police officers have to deal with each and every day. And any law or any solution that could take guns out of the hands of prohibited persons is so beneficial and so important for us to really consider.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are not fulfilling our mandate. We do not have domestic tranquility. We do not have a common defense with death levels that no other country sees. And dear God, clearly we do not have justice.
Thank you, Senator Booker. I understand Senator Blackburn is online.